Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Good morning. Freezing today here in eastern Long Island. It's about 36 degrees. I just don't even really want to be out here. But as you guys know from 10 billion episodes of getting this beige Craftsman Ys4500 going, I've had it listed for quite a while for $675, okay? I know that's a lot of money for this tractor, right? I've had a bunch of bites, people who are interested in it, but I wanted to be forthright and tell them that the starter Bendix gear sometimes gets hung up on the flywheel. And so because of that, it has thawed the sails. In other words, oh, well, I don't want something to happen. And then there was this one guy who was handy who says, oh, that's okay. Well, if you want to sell it as is, I'll give you $300 for it. I'm like, I could just go buy like a $25 starter and put it on, probably, you know, fixed. But I think it's because I have the starter on too tight, and that the entire Bendix gear is going up and hitting the flywheel and getting hung up. As you know, with most Bendix gear flywheels and starter combinations, right? Even with the Briggs, the Kohlers, the Kumses, whatever, the Bendix gear actually only goes up so that about, I want to say, a third or a half of the Bendix gear is actually touching the flywheel teeth. I'm going to show you what happens to it right now when I try to start it. I'll take the cover off. I don't have it screwed down because I always have the problem of starting it, so I have to take the cover off just so I can, you know, move the flywheel by hand to unhang it up, if you will. So that's what it looks like right there. And what happens is when you engage the starter, it goes up, gets caught here, and it doesn't turn anymore and it's stuck. So you have to take the cover off just so you can move the flywheels so that the Bendix gear retracts back down again, and then the flywheel is free and usually it starts. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. I was thinking that I have this on too tight and I should put some shims on the bottom. As you can see, look at this nut right there. It's almost recessed inside, like I put it on way too tight. So if I put a shim on the bottom, right, this starter will be lower by, you know, the shim. So it'll be lower, and hopefully that would probably fix the problem. So I got the parking brake on. Let's put it to choke, and let's just crank it and see what happens to it. See how it goes all the way up? The Bendix gear is almost flush against the entire housing of the teeth ring. And so now it won't go back down again, and it's stuck. I'll turn the key. Oh, actually, ooh, moved and retracted. That's good. Okay, well, it seems to work now. Aha, okay, so there you go. See, so that happens a lot. So what I want to do is, if you see closely, I don't know if you guys can tell, but if you look at the differences between the two nuts, right? This one's just a little bit lower, like on too tight, that it's down more. So it means that this starter is kind of pivoted that way, if you will, you know, because it's just a smidgen lower. So if I just loosen that, you know, I'm going to take both these off. I'm going to put two little washers on the bottom, and then hopefully that'll fix the problem. I just wanted to fix this once and for all because I always worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to remove these nuts. Man, that is on tight, man. I'm not surprised that it probably dipped down in there. Got just basic tools here. There we go.
Henry, you should have disconnected the power. Might electrocute yourself.
Maybe. So I've got a bunch of shims here. I almost feel like I want to do it kind of thick, you know? Let's see if that one fits. That one fits. And this one, kind of thick. Let's see how that works. I think that might work. And I'll just put these back on, see what happens. Just a small little millimeter or less than half a millimeter of extra space. And I just won't put this on all that tight and see what happens, you know. Let's just see if that works. See how it got hung up again? Okay, I removed it again and added another set of shims. So I have double set of shims here, double set of shims here. It's really the compression stroke. Once it moves past the compression stroke, if it can, that's a problem, man. It's the compression stroke that's too high. Always. Once you get it there, go again. It's that compression stroke. And once you keep clicking it, it'll go past the compression stroke. And it's sit right there, it'll stop. It won't move anymore. So you know what? I don't think it makes any difference about how high or low I have the starter on here, right? It's just gonna be caught up no matter what, because once you have that compression stroke, it's not strong enough to turn it all the way. So you know what? I probably need a new starter, because if it's a super new starter that's super powerful, it'll be able to get past the compression stroke. Or I could actually, I couldn't adjust these valves any more than it was, because it was to the limit. It's already the tightest it can be, you know? So I think I'm just gonna have to leave it this way. look, once it gets caught up right here, right, it actually isn't the Bendix gear. Because look, it's not even touching the flywheel. Okay, so I think it's a starter. Look, I can use my hand and just push it down. And it has a lot of resistance to push it down. So this Bendix gear is not getting hung up on here. It's actually the starter. So I need a new starter. This starter is a very old one. Remember, this one was one that I had to jig, you know, jerry rig it, because thing kept on flying off, you know. So a new starter would fix this issue, but right now I guess it, you know, sort of starts most of the time. Except for right there. But look, see, it's not touching, it's not even touching the teeth. You just push it down with your hands. It's that compression stroke right there. Now it won't start because I think it's out of gas. Finally. And the battery's done. So this jumper pack's no good too, and I'm just about done with this tractor. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. It's like bad luck, you know what I mean? The reason why it wouldn't start before is because it's out of gas. Okay, well, that's it. At least now there's no gas in it for the winter storage, and I'll mess with this next year, next spring. Actually, I'm recharging my jumper. I'll try this later. Right now, I have to suck up some of these leaves. It's just a little out of control, you know what I mean? Got to do a little bit at a time. All the leaves have fallen on my big tree out front. But the problem is my neighbor has this huge maple tree, and these take a long time for them to drop. So I know I'm gonna have to come out here again and suck up her leaves. Red Max EBZ 8050, pretty awesome. Almost blew me down a few times. So powerful, man. Most powerful back blower I've ever had. So got it out of the backyard a little bit, behind my bushes, behind that soccer goalpost thing, which I've had there for years, but my daughter, you know, she's on varsity soccer, so she's got another year as a senior, so we'll leave it up there in case she wants to play next year or use it. And now I'm gonna get the 616Z, whip it out and suck this stuff up. But I have to go slow because if I go too fast, it'll clog the chutes. Okay, just finished the yard. Just charged this up for another hour or so. Let's see. Alright, well, it's out of gas, so we know at least this starter kind of works. I'm just going to put the cover on and put the bolts back on. Maybe I won't put the bolts back on because I know I'm going to probably have trouble with this next spring. But at least we got the gas completely empty from the tank because it won't even fire. It barely wants to from fumes. But looks like I probably will need a new starter to try. But other than that, I'm not going to mess with this anymore for this year. I'm going to wait for the next spring where something like this would probably be worth a little bit more money, you know? And we'll get this taken care of sometime next spring. That's what we'll do. It's easy enough to take the cover off. It's just 4, 5, 6 feet. And maybe by then I might have another Kohler engine with a new starter on it and I won't have to buy it. Okay, so the yard's cleaned up, sides, front. 616 worked great, so reliable. Kind of a pain in the butt to always unclog the chute because the chute is too narrow at the beginning. I fabricated it myself from a John Deere bagger system, so it's not ideal, you know. The tube should be more wider, but it's kind of narrow in the beginning, which is where you need it to be really fat. But you know, they don't make that bagger system for that model anymore, so I had to make my own, you know. But it works as long as you go slow and it's not that many leaves. But I know that this is not the last time I'm going to be, you know, doing leaves because that tree still has to fall, and it's just not that time yet. Maybe another week or so. But anyway, just trying to get that starter hung up problem fixed, and I think to fix it you would just need a new starter. And for that crappy rebuilt Kohler Courage, I'm not going to spend any money on it. I'll wait until I get another Kohler Courage engine with a starter maybe, or I might think about next spring putting that John Deere V-twin engine, because that tractor itself is a good tractor, the Ys4500. It only has 200 hours on the chassis. So the only thing that's preventing that tractor from being worth a lot of money is that silly engine that I put together. You know what I mean? So it would be a fun project for next spring to put the John Deere V-twin Briggs on there, the 23 horsepower that I got off that John Deere LA 120 off the street, thanks to a tip from Jason over at Pate's Performance. And so that would be a really nice tractor if it had a V-twin on it, because everything else on that tractor is in great shape, you know. And I know probably in the spring or summer or whatever, I'll probably get a lot more money for it. But anyway, that's my episode for today. Hope you guys are doing all right, and thanks a lot for joining me on today's episode. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Yum, yum.
It's Kylie here, and we'll see you next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to give me a like. Also, comment below. Subscribe. Remember, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's free, right? Also, hit that little bell. That way you'll get post notifications whenever there's a new video, and you won't miss out on any of them. Remember to follow my Instagram and Facebook, as well as, if you'd like to donate $1 or $2, paypal.me/mowersandblowers. Really appreciate all the support. Also, to keep the videos coming every day, support the channel. Bye.